out-of-pocket cap. So the out-of-pocket cap is a very significant change, especially from a beneficiary patient perspective. But the other big thing that's happening is the shift in financial responsibility, especially for the high-cost drugs, away from the government and to the plan sponsors primarily, secondarily to manufacturers, but primarily to the plan sponsors. You know, for Part D's entire existence, including in 2024, you know, the government picked up 80% of the costs of prescription drugs once a beneficiary entered the catastrophic portion of the benefit. And now that's going to flip, where the government is only going to be responsible for 20% of the costs. Plans are going to be responsible for 65% of the costs, and manufacturers are going to be responsible for the remainder of the costs. So it is the twin change of the out-of-pocket cap. You know, before, you had a perverse incentive as a Part D plan sponsor to move a beneficiary sort of as quickly through the different phases of the benefit into catastrophic as quickly as you could, because then the government would be responsible for 80% of the costs. But now that calculation changes. And not only does it change, but the beneficiary is going to move into catastrophic much, much earlier in the year. A lot of beneficiaries that never got into catastrophic, you know, before 2024, you usually had to have about $8,000 in total drug costs before you got into catastrophic. So there were a lot of beneficiaries who never made it. But there are going to be a significant number of beneficiaries that hit that $2,000 cap. And so Part D plan sponsors are going to have to be thinking about how they're going to manage the risk associated with that. And then on the other side, the Inflation Reduction Act limits annual increases in what is known as the base beneficiary premium to 6%. And while that doesn't mean that on an individual plan level, the annual premium cannot exceed more than 6%, you know, greater than 6% increase, it is going to place downward financial pressure on premiums. And so it's going to limit the tools that plan sponsors have available to them to manage those costs. And so I know from a manufacturer perspective and from a beneficiary and patient advocacy perspective, there's questions about what formularies in 2025 are going to look like. How much narrower are they going to be relative to where they are now? And is that where plans are going to look to help control some of those costs?